Welcome back to the Towne Crier Pod.
We're back, baby. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to the Towne Crier Podcast. We are revamping this. If you didn't notice, it's been about, how long has it been? A year, maybe, since the last recording?
It's probably been like 3 years at this point.
No. The last one we did was...
No.
It was 2021.
I think it was probably like early 2021. So it's probably been 2 years.
Hopefully got the mics working now. We're big tech guys over here, so...
Yeah. Cameron's audio is coming through his AirPods for sure.
Yeah, I swear if that happens, we'll have big problems.
How about COVID, huh?
Hey, COVID, let's go. Got the new one. Did you see Jimmy, what's his name?
Tatro?
No, I know. That's what I was thinking. Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon.
Fallon? Oh, it's freaking weird. His little song and dance for the COVID vaccine or whatever COVID variant.
I will give him this. Apparently what I read was the studio kind of forced him to do it.
Weird.
That was uncomfortable, I thought.
It was like the most cringy thing of all time.
Yeah, I mean, SNL's been cringing for a while. Well, that's not SNL, but Tonight Show's been cringing for a while now, in my opinion. That's why we have the Towne Crier Podcast for you guys, so you don't have to deal with that. You can actually deal with some real entertainment value that we provide you.
Are you sick of watching Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel?
I know.
Look no further than the Towne Crier Pod, the TCP.
That's right. Yeah. So we want to. Well, I'll say this: we want to be more consistent now. We're gonna try. Hey, don't want to make any broken promises here, but we are gonna try to record once a week, every Thursday. And hey, maybe we'll start a little Twitch stream Thursday nights at 8:30 Eastern. Who knows? But
yeah, we're gonna be the new Aiden Ross.
But hey, guys, I know we are. I don't know if you're aware, but I know me and Josh follow a lot of YouTubers and YouTube news in general. Not that I would define Logan Paul as a YouTuber anymore, per se. He's a wrestler, a businessman, an entrepreneur, Ohio born and bred. But
yeah, keep going.
Yeah, great guy. But yeah, I guess I'll just give you guys a quick summary of what occurred if you haven't been following it. And CoffeeZilla's series, 3-part miniseries, excellent work, of course, on his part. We all can agree on that, I'm sure. But Logan Paul scammed some people with his little game, I guess we'd call it, because it is a game. And it became a game where people got played, probably in a way they didn't intend to happen. But because Zoo Token, is that right?
Something like that.
Do you not even know?
I actually don't know.
Okay.
It's Crypto Zoo. That's what it is.
Zoo. There we go. And it was a game,
Crypto
basically.
Zoo.
If you guys haven't seen the CoffeeZilla series, go ahead and watch that if you want. But basically, it was a game you'd buy animals, and basically you could continue to buy more animals under a certain animal to breed them, I guess, into new kinds of species, essentially. And the farther down the web you got, the more valuable it became, up until the point where you could sell it for profit, essentially. That was the concept. I don't think it's that complex. But anyway, the animals that he created, he claimed were essentially art. I don't know if he said NFT specifically, but they
were NFTs.
They were NFTs, right? Okay, good.
They were NFTs, yeah.
But he claimed which I don't know what technically. I guess they're qualified as an NFT, but as far as art goes, he claimed he had graphic designers putting these together, and then when he was exposed, you can actually see these are just essentially Shutterstock images.
Yeah. Well, he had some unique things, but the whole concept of them hatching, you were supposed to be able to get these eggs or something, and they would hatch, and it would be these rare NFTs. Apparently, just none of them hatched. So all these people just bought a bunch of them.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
And they just didn't hatch.
Yeah.
So
right. And some guy claimed. Yeah, I know in the CoffeeZilla series, he interviewed a few people who got scammed, and they claimed that. One guy was like, yeah, you couldn't even hatch the eggs. It wasn't even an option. And they would then Logan's team would claim, hey, we're getting it together. We're fixing the problem or this and that, empty promises that never came true. And essentially, it's a scam, no doubt, but who falls guilty is the question. Logan, I don't believe, had enough of his hand in the project as he should have, as the creator, as he claimed and whatnot. But he hired some very sus individuals. One, Eddie, I believe, Eddie something, who basically convinced the owner of the New York Yankees that he had done all this kinds of different business deals, and he has done business deals. I won't take that away from him. However, he's a con artist, and it's very apparent when you look at his history. He convinced people in the top industries of who knows what, but ultimately he even
convinced the Mormon Church too.
What was that? He did?
He convinced the Mormon Church somehow. Yeah.
What was that about?
So it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the details were, but it was like he somehow, it was similar to what he did with the Yankees. He convinced the Mormon Church that he was some legitimate business dude. I don't know what they were using him for. But yeah, sketchy guy.
Yeah. He claimed he worked for the Philadelphia Eagles and won the Super Bowl with them. He claimed he actually had a Super Bowl ring, which I don't know if that's true. I don't think that is unless he stole it. But basically claimed he had created this software with them to basically track players' health like you would in a video game practically. And that was a fabricated lie, as you might expect. But why would Logan hire him? Well, his manager apparently hired him. So it's kind of weird where all the fault goes. But ultimately, I think if you create a product and you say, this is my thing, it falls on you no matter what.
Well, I think his biggest thing, too, is like he created this project. He hyped it up for like a week, put all this content out about it. And then he basically went dark for like a year. And then created all these other projects, non-crypto related, was doing stuff obviously with Prime. And then he didn't address any of this stuff until basically somebody else had to like expose him. And then his initial response was basically like, oh, it wasn't my fault. We got scammed by this Eddie dude. And then basically like didn't apologize for anything. And then he was like, yeah, legally I wasn't allowed to talk about it. But all of a sudden, now that he gets exposed, he's allowed to talk about it now. So he's doing a lot of things backwards. And then he got so many dislikes and bad comments on his response, he deleted his comments, or he turned the comments off, and then he just deleted the entire response. So yeah, bad optics for sure.
Big dub for him for sure.
Big dub.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, maybe we should probably do an episode where we compare apologies from different YouTubers and influencers, and we see who takes the cake. I would say right now we're looking at Logan Paul and Liver King for the top two. That's been the most recent.
And Logan Paul as a third with his original apology for the suicide.
That's right.
Forest.
So he's had a few of these go arounds.
Yeah.
But you know, I would say who owned up to it more than the other, Liver King or Logan?
Great question.
Wow. Let us know in the comments below, guys, who takes the cake here.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, ultimately, I mean, I guess I told you. I mean, ultimately, when you just kind of give excuses and whatnot, like, I deal with mental health. Mental health's a serious thing, but don't blame that on why you needed to take steroids and market a product that would basically give you the body of Liver King when you're on steroids. But, you know, we don't need to explain that too much. I'm sure you guys have heard all of that. But then you got Logan, who's still in that apology episode. Still, you know, I don't know.
Logan was doing so well. He had obviously like the Suicide Force stuff. He bounced back a little bit. He was making like good content, was improving himself. Actually seemed like he was a legitimately decent guy. And then all this happens. And then they also found his pet pig abandoned in a field. That's right. So some like, I think it was called Gentle Barn or something. Some like animal rescue found his pig like abandoned next to some other like dead pig or something. And this all happened within the same week. So yeah, dude's catching L's constantly. So
yeah. I mean, is there a comeback, do you think?
I don't know. Maybe he can stick to the WWE unless he gets canceled from that too. But
you know, not to be too dark, but you know, I don't know. But I feel like Balenciaga's coming back too.
Yeah, true. Freaking Balenciaga.
All right, let's transition to maybe you want to talk about push notifications?
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll take a second to thank the sponsor of today's episode. Today's episode brought to you by Courier, making software to human communication delightful. Anyone have a need for product notifications? Look no further than Courier to handle your notification infrastructure. Do you want to spend time building it yourself? No. No one wants to spend time and engineering effort in installing and integrating notifications for all your channels. Head on over to courier.com to sign up and get the API installed in a few hours.
Get the Josh special.
Use my code Josh for a free trial of Courier notifications.
Do you guys actually have a free trial?
We have a free tier. Anyone can sign up and do it for free. For the first, you get 10,000 free messages every month, forever.
Says that 10,000 like push notifications?
Yeah,
That's what that is?
10,000 notifications of any kind. So.
So if I want to set that up, would I be like, I don't even know, like, who are your main clientele? Give me that.
So yeah, we target basically anybody that has product notifications in any sense, email, SMS, push, anything like that. And we basically are targeting mostly engineering teams to install this. So it's any client, but it's our focus right now is engineering teams because the speed in which they can get that added to their product is infinitely faster than them trying to build it, maintain it themselves.
Got it. So like JM Francis could probably use one of these.
JM Francis could use it.
JM Michael.
JM Michael could do it. Dean Francis could use it. Cameron Francis could use it.
I already got Moxo covering me. I got my own dev team.
Yeah.
We don't need that. We have our own app. So.
Yeah.
But okay, so I am actually curious. I don't know if you have any profound thought on this, but what is the future of push notifications? Where are we going?
Interesting question. I don't know. I think notifications in general are very complex and there's a lot of spam. I think everybody has dealt with notifications where you either get random text notifications or you get random push notifications from like apps that you have, or you get a bunch of email like product notifications spam. So it's more or less like people need to dial back how they're actually sending them. And so part of it is like people are just approaching notifications incorrectly, and that's where we kind of come into play. But I think a lot of it is like decisions on how companies want to do it. ChatGPT probably going to make a big impact with what notification content gets sent out. So companies are trying to figure out how to get ChatGPT integrated into their business. Luckily, Courier's ahead of the game there. We're integrating that into the Courier Studio. So we have ChatGPT functionality coming so you can actually generate images and content directly from Courier Studio, powered by OpenAI. So there's a lot of things around. Most of it's content. I think that's the biggest thing that needs to evolve.
Yeah, that's interesting. It makes me think of actually the podcast I am producing with Jonathan Michael.
Don't plug your own podcast on here.
I'm not. I didn't say the name of it.
I'm not.
It'll just be in the link below.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, he one of the last episodes we recorded was about how email marketing is dead, and how push notifications, or essentially that kind of driven marketing, is the future. Obviously, I think we can all agree on that. I'd rather, the first place I look any day for any kind of messaging is my notification.
Exactly.
On my phone. I don't want to go into my different email inboxes and try to find the best deals or whatever. Not that I want to be spammed a bunch of deals from different apps, but that is I prefer that over email marketing.
Yeah. Marketing stuff is a little different
catered.
too. Yeah, marketing notifications are a bit different. There's a lot of spam in email marketing. I think where a good experience for notifications is all like product based stuff. So like use DoorDash as an example. If you order food from DoorDash, you get push notifications. Same with like Uber and Lyft. You get push notifications when your driver is coming up. When somebody completes a delivery, you can get a text notification as well. You can get an email notification. You could get push. You have a bunch of like configuration options. That kind of flexibility, I'd say, is done well for apps like that, and most companies don't have that. And it's really hard for them to build that well without like spamming you at bad times, spamming you with content that you didn't want. So that's where that's like one of our biggest pushes for lack of a better term. But companies can use us, integrate that stuff super easily, give their users a really good experience. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say to someone who says, I don't want to download an app?
You're not downloading an app. So
okay, so please, yes.
Yeah, you're not downloading anything with Courier. Courier is more integrating notifications into your product. It's not for consumers to really use. So it's more people with some type of product that they need to provide notifications to their users. They can power all of that with Courier.
And these people usually have an app, or
it's just anybody. It's anyone. Some companies would use us and they just have to send text notifications, and they think maybe in the future they're going to want to send push notifications. Maybe they want to do email. They don't have to reintegrate different providers every time. They can use Courier to do all of it. So maybe somebody starts out with just text. They want to send their users text notifications. They can get Courier built into their product. We power their notifications. And then it's incredibly simple for them to say, hey, now we want to offer push notifications to our users. Courier handles it. You do a couple configuration changes and you can start sending almost immediately. So that's our biggest benefit is multi-channel notifications.
Okay. So I guess it's more broad than just saying, obviously it's more broad than an app.
Exactly.
Okay. I'll try to wrap my mind around it another time.
Yeah.
We'll do a product episode.
That's right. We'll deep dive on the product.
Yeah, but what we do need to talk about, and what, I would imagine our audience knows this is coming, the one and only Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. The GOAT.
Welcome back to the Nolan episode.
That's
Welcome
right.
back to the Nolan segment. There we go.
Yeah.
The Nolan segment.
The Nolan section.
Boom. It's like the Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And with the big, trombones.
Yep.
Like from Inception. Yeah. Shout out Hans Zimmer also.
That's right.
I know, we don't have much time, but we can cover a lot here.
That's
I know
right.
That. First of all, guys, if you don't know, the movie Oppenheimer is coming out July 23rd, I believe.
Yep.
This is the so here's where we should actually go. What is this going to be? Another Dunkirk historical movie, or is it what I believe is going to be a mixture of not only history, but also he's going to have his own spin of maybe fiction to it? I don't know how. I probably won't be telling a wrong story, but I think he's going to try to go somewhere deep with the whole, concept of atomic bomb.
It's hard to pick that out just from the trailer. I think.
Right.
It seems
I don't know.
It seems more Dunkirk-like, where it's purely historical, and they're gonna lean heavily into explosives and the amount of effects that they can get out of that. But
I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you look at some of the visuals in the trailer, you'll see that the sparks, whatever you want to call it. I watched what's his name did a whole deep dive into the trailer, explaining what he believed he was seeing. But anyway, if you look at the sparks, it looks almost like stars, like in the night sky, some of it. But he shows that multiple times throughout the trailer, and it's vague. It's like, okay, what is so important about these little sparks and whatnot, or whatever it is exactly? It looks like something sci-fi. I think there's going to be something more to that level. However, remember in Tenet, I don't know if you remember this, but that scene with John David Washington, and that woman, and she's talking about Oppenheimer and the project, Trinity Project, I think it was, in the 40s or whenever.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, did you not know this?
No.
So yeah, it's literally Christopher Nolan has Oppenheimer in Tenet, and now he's creating Oppenheimer after that.
Wow.
It's got to be more than history, I'm telling you. I
didn't know that. I didn't know that they referenced that in Tenet.
It's really subtle.
And I think what's interesting too is in the trailer you can see when they're showing those sparks or those flames or whatever that is, there are times and scenes of it where it looks like they're going backwards.
Oh.
And it looks like the shot is in reverse.
There we go.
And that's obviously the core tenet of Tenet. But
I don't know if that works.
yeah.
Actually,
true,
do you know what Tenet means?
It's the core tenet of Tenet.
Oh, sorry, I missed. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
He got it.
But it's obviously that's the whole point of it. So there could be more than what's being portrayed, and I think he obviously is doing the trailer like that intentionally to keep those questions open. So
Yeah, I honestly, it needs to be something more than history. It needs to go deeper than that because in Tenet, let's be honest, everybody, no one really appreciated it like I think Christopher Nolan did. He literally said, this is the best film I've ever made. So,
well, I think it was so overly engineered and complex.
Yeah.
I think to him it obviously was. I think for most people, even I watched it 2 or 3 times and I'm still not totally 100% sure what's going on.
I'm getting there. I've watched it now about 6 times.
Oh my god!
I watched it on my own. I'm like studying the thing, trying to figure out because I know if I get to that point of what's the word? Enlightenment. If I get there, I can maybe love it.
Yeah, like you're Buddhist.
Okay, relax. If I get there, I can love it like I would Inception, Interstellar.
Yeah.
And because the soundtrack's incredible too. I want to love it, is what I'm saying.
Soundtrack is great. Wasn't quite as good as what Hans Zimmer maybe would produce, but that's all right. It's okay.
I mean, it was just a completely different direction.
I know.
But
I'm just dogging him because it's Hans Zimmer's the man. But I think those are super entertaining movies to watch. I still don't think he will ever outdo Inception. It's my own personal opinion, but
you don't think Interstellar outdid Inception?
I think Interstellar visually outdid Inception. I don't think there will be a concept and plot that overtakes Inception ever. I think that is the most detailed and complex plot, and it was the first of its kind really to do that.
Right. That is true. You're right. I mean, he did it kind of in the Prestige, but nothing near Inception level.
Yeah,
but
Prestige was great, but the layers literally to Inception are just unbelievably well done.
Yeah, and him and his brother, Jonathan Nolan, who writes a lot of these films with him, they started writing that in the early 2000s. So it only makes sense it's so complex, but also it has the ability to comprehend it as well. Yeah.
I think Inception is one of those movies that because it was one of the first to really kind of bend people's mind a little bit, no one quite appreciates it enough. And it's because I think most people haven't watched it. I've probably watched it 10 or 15 times total.
You talk about Inception?
And Inception, yeah.
You probably watched it more than that. I don't know.
I purposely don't overwatch it.
That's true.
Because I don't want to ruin it.
We're one of the
same. So every time
I
watch it like once a year or something, and every time it's like a masterpiece like redone, and I'm like, most people just have not comprehended this enough to understand.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid and I actually first watched it in 2010, I guess it would have been. I was like 15 or so, I guess 16 maybe.
Yeah.
I was so weird about it. Like there was an app, an Inception app, and you would basically put in your not AirPods then, but your headphones, and it would track your movements in a way. It was probably a bunch of, didn't exactly do what things could do today, but I would literally take it out. It would play like the Inception music, and you'd have like certain kind of missions with it. And I actually would go out into my backyard, like way back in the woods, and I'd be walking by myself with these in, trying to like be in Inception. Like it was something else, but that's it. And that was great. At that point I was like, man, I'm obsessed with this. And that's where
the Hans Zimmer appreciation came to be.
Well, my Hans Zimmer appreciation came with Pirates of the Caribbean first, but yes,
it's true. It's true.
But yeah, that was the kind of started all of this, and I basically was like, I can only watch Inception once every maybe blue moon here, but last time I watched it was a few weeks ago, and it had I feel like the effect that it has on me just grows with each time I watch it.
Every time.
How does it there is no movie, there are hardly any movies out there that have that ability. So
yeah, it's all the Nolan films they do. Yeah.
Hans Zimmer, by the way, is going on a European tour once again.
It's true.
I've never understood. He doesn't come to the U.S. too much, but I mean, I get it. He's European, but still, like, Hollywood's here. But anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so catch Cameron and I out in Europe
in Vienna,
sometime
maybe?
in 2023. Yeah, we'll do a live pod from the Hans Zimmer show. And
yeah, we'll have mics set up on the stage,
Yeah.
so we're catching our
hey
own
guys, it's the Towne Crier Pod.
audio. He's I don't know if you saw the set list for it, but I don't think he's really doing Interstellar for whatever reason. Makes no sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's leaving it out, I think.
I think you could do some Dark Knight stuff.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could do obviously Planet Earth.
Oh, I forgot
Could
about Planet Earth. I
do
never watched that.
Inception. Yeah. You could do there's some random really good ones. I actually listened to this at work. This is actually kind of funny. Chappie, that weird robot movie
Yeah.
from like years
I
ago.
never watched it.
He did that. He did the score
know.
for that. And the score is like super good to work to.
Of course it
so
is.
I work to it like all the time.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah, that is true.
and he did the GOAT Modern Warfare 2 from 2008.
Facts. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that
So-
score. Any real boy knows that one.
Everyone knows that. You hear the menu music for that. It's like any kid that's like age, I don't know, 30 and younger will recognize that immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So shout out Hans Zimmer.
anyways, catch us in Europe. Yeah, catch us in Europe this year.
Yeah, we won't dox ourselves yet, but might be Vienna.
Yeah.
Preferably, I like to go to Vienna because that's where classical music essentially originated from. A lot of history there.
Yeah.
It's literally like the original music city of the world, I believe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, catch us out there. But hey, you got any final thoughts?
No, we'll close it out. Good to be back. Keep in touch. Stay tuned for more episodes. We're gonna put these out weekly.
That's right.
So
That is correct.
more content 2023.
Let's go. Content, baby. All right, yeah. So, all right. Well, we will see you guys next episode. This is the Towne Crier Podcast. I am your co-host, Cameron, and this is my other co-host, Josh. Follow us on IG if you please, and we'll see you then.
Thanks for tuning in. Peace.